welcome in and welcome back to the Down South Philly show brought to you by Sports Lounge Media. Man, it's Super Bowl week, man. We got a lot to discuss. We got some things that have happened in the Philadelphia Eagles side of town. We got a whole lot happening with the Super Bowl this week. Super Bowl 60 to be exact against the New England between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks in San Francisco. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow because if you didn't know, Sports Lounge Media will be at the Super Bowl. That's right. We will be covering the Super Bowl all week long, starting tomorrow. So we're flying up. A few of us are flying up. Those of us who are close enough to drive are driving up tomorrow, and it's gonna be good, man. We got some things lined up, some interviews that's gonna take place. We got the whole thing rocking. I'm excited about that. First time on the West Coast. First time on the West Coast. So we'll see what happens with that. But when it comes to today, we got a little bit to talk about. Let's start off with the obvious news of a new offensive coordinator. So, Philly fans all over, we've been waiting to hear this news since our season ended on Wild Card Weekend. Very underwhelming season by Kevin Patullo. We knew very early on in the season that it just wasn't it, right? So season ends in a depressing fashion, if you will. Happy Tuesday, Daniel Barry. Um, Season ends in depression fashion. Yet another lackluster performance offensively. And when you look back at what we put on tape for 18, 19 weeks offensively, it can tend to piss you off even more when you consider how good we looked on offense. So, I mean, defense. So, our defense was one of the best units in the league for the better part of the 2025 campaign. Um, and then we just tried out dog crap for the whole season. W- I'd be lying if I said I didn't see flashes. So obviously, in the Kevin Patullo offense, all year long we've seen flashes, but it just was never really an ability to put four quarters together, never really an ability to consistently move the ball down the field. As a matter of fact, the only good thing or the best part about KP's offense was the red zone offense. Outside of that, there was no creativity in the run game. Our offensive line looked terrible. Some of that can be attributed to um, injuries, but at the same time, we've had some kind of injury every year to the offensive line, and it's never looked that bad. Um, the wide receiving core as a whole, we had 2,000-yard receivers, barely, but we got them. Dallas Goedert had a career year in touchdowns, red zone touchdowns. Didn't really get to see a whole lot from Jahan Dotson, just because we wasn't able to hold on to the ball long enough to see what anybody had. Would have liked to have seen Darius Cooper get some more touches. Obviously, we lost Johnny Wilson very early on in the season before we could see what type of plans we have for him, either in the red zone or just in game period. Um, didn't really didn't really get to see a whole lot out of Hurts. But with that being said, Hurts did make lemonade out of lemons. Still was able to do enough to get voted to the Pro Bowl, so we'll take that. But when we talk about Kevin Patullo, and hopefully this is one of the last times that we will refer to Kevin Patullo as an Eagle. I mean, I think he still might be. He's still probably going to be on the team and coaching staff in some form, just not as the offensive coordinator. So we turn the page. We turn the page to Sean Mannion. If you're unfamiliar with where he came from, he actually was the quarterbacks coach for the Green Bay Packers. When we look more into it, and this is straight from PhiladelphiaEagles.com. The Eagles conducted an extensive search looking for the right man to head up the team's offense in 2026. And on Thursday, they announced that they found their man, former Green Bay Packers quarterbacks coach Sean Mannion. Um, over the last few years, yeah, I ain't worried about. I'm not really worried about what he said. He's a former Pac-12 record-setting quarterback at Oregon State who played in the NFL for 9 seasons with the Rams, the Vikings, and the Seahawks. Mannion brings with him a history of innovation, working with quarterbacks like Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, and Nick Foles. Um, Once Mannion's playing career ended in 2023, he moved right into the coaching world, joining Green Bay as an offensive assistant, working primarily with the quarterbacks Jordan Love and Malik Willis. And the name that's most interesting in that tandem that I just named was actually Malik Willis. Malik Willis looked pretty good in the limited capacity this past season, and as a matter of fact, I think that he may have played himself into a job. Now I don't know what that looks like, but I'm sure as soon as the season is over with and free agency is underway, he's gonna get some calls. He's gonna get some calls, and I'm interested to see what he ends up playing in 2026. Mannion joined the Packers as offensive assistant on February the 5th, 2024, and was promoted to the quarterbacks coach on January 31st, 2025. Prepared for the role by both his 9 years as an NFL quarterback as well as his 2 years of coaching minds Mannion has been around, have prepared him for this moment. And it is an all-star list, including Dave Canales, now the Carolina head coach, Tom Clements, former Packers quarterbacks coach, Liam Cohen, head coach of Jacksonville, Gary Kubiak, former NFL head coach, Clint Kubiak, Seahawks offensive coordinator, Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell, Steve Stefanski, Zach Taylor, and Grant Udinsky, who's the offensive coordinator for the Jags. Let's see the system he's coming from. Mannion has a great deal of expertise or experience in the Shanahan offense, both from playing days and his time working in Green Bay. It was no coincidence that Mannion jumped immediately to the coaching staff in Green Bay after his playing days ended as Packers head coach. As Packers head coach, Matt LaFleur recognized him as a natural to help take an offense to new heights. So, hold on. Looks like my boy Dime jumping in here. Yo,
What up? What up?
good with you. You feeling today?
You said what now?
I said, what's good with you? How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah,
In
well,
here, in here, in here, bobbing and weaving these codes they trying to pass around. Won't get me.
shoot, long as you had your best impression of Shakur, you'll be just fine. He need to go ahead and drop him some kind of vitamin C right now. Best defense in the biz. But nah, we had to we since the news dropped in between episodes, we got to touch on the addition of Sean Mannion as our new offensive coordinator. Obviously, it's been a hot topic since our season ended um, to the 49ers. But just talk a little bit about how you feel about the move.
um, I don't really. I really ain't got a lot to say about it or a certain type of feeling because I really don't know a lot about dude, and I still ain't really did a lot of research on him. Kind of glanced at him a little bit. Um, I guess you could say I'm kind of glad from the standpoint of we got an offensive coordinator. It seemed like it's some new ideas, some fresh blood in the building. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he could spice stuff up a bit, but I'm not. I mean, it's really kind of a question mark. So, um, and if I'm not mistaken, he ain't never called plays before. So, um,
Not at the
it's going.
NFL level.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Um, like I said, I don't really got a whole lot to say about him. I'm still doing my research on him and stuff like that. But only thing I can say about it is one is being an Eagles fan, you gonna hope for the best anyway. So hopefully he come in here and do his thing. But um yeah, like I said, some new fresh blood in the building, fresh ideas. Hopefully they let him come in and really do his thing, and we're not doing Nick thing. Um, but we'll see.
Yeah, we kind of similar in the aspect of we didn't really know what to expect out of KP. I mean, we knew he was in the building. We knew that he was on the team when we went all the way, but we really didn't know what we were uh gonna expect from a week to week basis. But we found out pretty early on what it was gonna be with KP. So we can't do nothing but have high hopes. We don't have it's really no evidence that he gonna be good or bad. We just gotta wait and see. I think when we think about the possibilities of him being good, um, he a fresh face, like you said, fresh face, fresh ideas, um, completely different tree. He's from that uh Shanahan, McVay type of tree, Matt LaFleur type of tree. So you already know how we feel about that style of offense. So if we can have just 10% of what that offense look like, I'll take that. But I think the interesting part for me is not this hire alone, but also the addition of Grizzard from Tampa Bay. I think the addition of those two, like I said, bringing some fresh blood in the building, being able to potentially turn the entire offense over to those two and see what they can do with Hurts. I like the idea of that. But like you said, it all sounds good. It's February. We got a long way to go before we even know what the vehicle gonna look like, because we do got a lot of free agents. Most of them on the defensive side of the ball. Um, I am happy to hear that Vic Fangio is gonna stay for at least another year. That's huge news because I was just like a lot of other Philly fans was nervous about that one. When the report came out that he was thinking about retirement, we had it was like just not again. We had just fixed the defensive side of the ball and you dipping. I mean, I get it. He been doing this thing for a while, but at the same time, selfishly as an Eagles fan, you would think that he would give us at least about 4 or 5 years, but he really don't owe us nothing. He got his ring. Outside of that, it's not really much that he can add to his resume. So really it's just about feel. Do he feel like going through a potential another season like last year? Because obviously, he went to the highest of heights in 24 with coaching a Super Bowl winning defense. But then he went to the lowest of lows, and even though his side of the ball was straight, the team wasn't straight. Um, and because the offense was so bad, it ended up being a liability, and we never really got to see what this defense could do in the postseason. So talk a little bit about was you ever worried? Because actually, for me, honestly, now that I think about it, I didn't even realize I might have missed it. I didn't even realize that it was a possibility that he was going to retire. So when I hear this news come out that we get news that he gonna stay, I'm like, well, I didn't even know bro was even thinking about hanging him up. But how you feel about keeping him?
Shoot, I ain't to be honest with you. I ain't like when I first like kind of seen it. I didn't really like know if it was true, and I still don't know. Like I haven't really like looked into it at all. So I had 0% worry because the whole time I'm thinking like I don't even know if it's true. So I never really like even put no thought. Like I saw it, and then that was the end of it for me. Like I didn't really think it was a thing. So I never had put myself in a position to kind of worry about it because I ain't even think that was a thing. And then even when I saw it, I never did research on it to see if it was true. So the whole time I'm thinking like, yeah, this shit probably ain't even real. Like bro gonna be back for the season. And then like you talking about you saw that he coming back like that. Just as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, that's news to me because I still ain't know that it was a possibility he was gone until you just said that. So um yeah, so I ain't never really put no stock into it.
Yeah, but when we think about what he did when he first got here, obviously going from one of the worst units in 23 to one of the best units, pretty much overnight. Like we can't just I guess you can't. It's just a testament to how important coaching is,
Mm-hmm.
combined with how he just making the right moves. I mean, you already know when we show a weakness in any area from year to year, how we gonna do? You said this plenty of times in the past. How he gonna break his neck to fix it? And what
Mm-hmm.
do? We go out here and we get two cornerbacks back to back in the top of the draft, and both of them end up being dogs. Huge reason why we was able to make a Super Bowl run. Huge reason why we was so formidable last season. Um, so we know we obviously we never want to lose Vic, but I think whatever we can do to sweeten the pot to help him stay around as long as possible, them boys need to do that. Cause it seemed like we just figuring out how to play some dominant defense. And hopefully we can do that with this unit. Now I don't know what we're gonna do free agent wise, because we do got quite a few on the defensive side of the ball that we need to figure out, whether it be in the Kobe Dean. I think Reed Blankenship is a free agent. Um, we gotta pay Carter. Jordan Davis is on entering into his contract. Jalen Phillips, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with him. My dog Nolan, I think he on his last year or approaching his last year, his contract. So we got some decisions to make defensively on who we're gonna keep and who we gonna have to let walk, who gonna be the Milton Williams of this year. And that still remains to be seen. Obviously, pieces gonna start rolling as soon as the season is officially over and free agency hit. But as of right now, we just gotta shoot. Ain't really much we can do, but just hope that we can keep as many pieces on the roster as possible. Um, who, if you had to, I guess prioritize who you keeping, who would that be?
Well, you gotta keep Jalen Carter, so he need to go ahead and get paid now. If we
Mhm.
talking about paying somebody, he going into his fourth year. That's usually when we pay somebody. So if you going to pay somebody, he got to get paid first, and then you figure everything else out after that. I don't know what the money looking like. What you saying? So, but for sure you gotta keep Jalen Carter. Now, when you start talking about who I would like to keep, of course I would like to keep everybody, but like, um, man, I think if I had to pick three people that I'm like, how you keep these three people, and we try to figure out the rest. You gotta keep Carter. I'm gonna go Jalen Phillips and gotta bring back N'Kobe Dean. I would go them three. Them would be my three. Like if how it was like, hey man, it's a guaranteed three we can keep. Mike can keep everybody, a majority of everybody, but I got a guaranteed three spots. I'm gonna figure out the rest. But what's these three? I'm giving them Jalen Carter, Phillips, and Nicole Dean because I just feel like they could be stable pieces and really are stable pieces. There was Phillips' first year or whatever, but you can tell just in that little bit of time that he was there and he gelled with the team. He played well. I think him and Carter would be held together, and especially they get a full season together. You got to worry about stopping both of
Healthy.
them. And then the Kobe Dean is the guy that if you get past them two, then the Kobe Dean right there. So, um, and the Kobe Dean, just for me, just a situation. Man, just bring him back on the 1 year deal. Like you ain't gotta break. Like if he willing to do it. Hey, look, I don't know what we just drafted old buddy. We got this guy. We got this guy. You know, I don't know what we're gonna be able to do with you long term, but we would love to at least bring you back on a 1 year deal and see how that go. We try to figure out the rest after that, but that's what kind of conversation I would have with Nicole Dean if I'm a Howie. Like, look, I can't give you a 3-4 year deal. Um, I mean maybe, but not right now. I can't. But we would love to have you back on the 1 year deal. You already know you the best damn linebacker back there. You gonna start. So damn, unless you go out there and damn just turn into a damn fifth grader,
Hmm.
you know you're gonna go out there and be the starting linebacker. So we would love to have you back on the 1 year deal. Now I know you got to look out for the best interests of your family. So if it's something bigger on the table, multi-year deal, I know you got to go get your money or whatever. But I'm just telling you from an ego and organization standpoint, this is where we at with it. And I would just try to see where they go. If he get a bigger deal somewhere else and he got to go get the money, we'll just have to understand that. But I would definitely try to bring him back on at least a 1 year deal. Because if you bring him, one he ain't been healthy enough to just go ahead and give a 3-4 year deal contract. And two, you just drafted somebody, so it's hard to. Now, if he been healthy, then we wouldn't even probably got Jahad. So, but yeah, if he would have probably just made it through this year healthy or something like that. But he didn't got injured again this season for a little bit. So, but yeah, I would, and then he understand that too as well. So that's another reason why you kind of go get your money. You might not even be sure yourself. Like shit, I don't even know. Am I injury prone? Like shit, I just might need to go get this bread. Like, um, but whatever. So I would have that conversation with him, and then would be the three guys I gotta bring back on the defensive side of the ball. Um, and then outside of that, I would love to have Blankenship back. I love Blankenship. I would love to have Blankenship back on that back end. Um, of course, Nolan, all them guys really. But if you could ask me for three, that'd be my top three. And if we can't get Dean, my third person would probably be who else? Who else up on the defensive side?
I
Probably,
think
I probably, huh?
Jordan Davis got one more year.
Yeah.
We already got a whole
And when
at,
he ain't even really and then like I ain't even and Jalen Carter ain't even up. He got one more year, but that's just me as far as like
but
who
you
I would
gotta
pay.
pay. Yeah, you gotta pay
Yeah,
Carter
yeah.
though.
So
Like
I
it
would go
ain't
ahead
even
and pay
no.
Jalen Carter. You ain't got to, but I would go ahead and pay him. Um, and Phillips is a person you got to go ahead and pay because he pretty much up out of there.
He gone. He gone.
Um, but the third person I would like make sure I either have to pay. I mean, I would pay or keep. Shit, I don't even know who else. I guess the only person is between Nolan Blankenship. Nolan and Blankenship. Yeah, so I would
Yeah,
have to.
and if I got to pick out of them two, I'm definitely going Blankenship.
I
Even
probably.
though I love Nolan, but I think I pick Blankenship over Nolan.
Well, I mean, you can't really go wrong with either because you already if Phillips is already in your top three, then you already got somebody in that spot. But I would have to go. I would have to go Nolan just because. Boom, you got Jalen Phillips. Him and Nolan. Pretty much you set out. You set out there. Boom, him and Nolan. You set out there on that, and then you would have to get you a safety. Now, I love Blankenship. He ain't the best safety in the world, so you can go get you another safety. Um, but I think he just meshed well with our guys, our offense. He basically a solid piece on the back end. He's solid. You know he gonna be in the right place. He ain't gonna make too many mistakes. He'll sure tackle it. He gonna come up and tackle. Um, but yeah.
Ajomo
Um,
still got one more year on his contract too.
who?
Ajomo. This
And
the
then at the
last.
end of the day, you ain't even gotta pay Nolan yet. You can
Mm-mm.
Nolan in the situation where he still got to play at least one more season. So that's a person you ain't even got to pay yet. You can really go ahead and pay Jalen Phillips and let Nolan know that, like, look, bro. I mean, whether you get paid or not gonna be based off what you do this season. And he'll first round draft pick. So,
Yeah, and he also in a position similar to Dean where he been hurt every year. Like, and different from Dean, he didn't have some serious injuries like every year that he didn't suited up.
man, and what I was gonna say, I mean, just like we picked up Jordan Davis, we can go ahead and pick up Nolan 5th-year option, and I can't see that not being a situation where he don't understand. Look, this is the reason why we're picking up a 5th-year option, just like we did with Jordan Davis. Look,
Mm-hmm.
we already know the situation with Jordan Davis. Holler at Nolan. Look, I mean, yeah, you've been injured, but you've been doing great. We looking to pay you, but we gonna go ahead and pick up a 5th-year option, depending on what you do these next 2 seasons. So that's somebody I would go ahead and pick his 5th-year option up. So that ain't you ain't gotta. I wouldn't even worry about that. Then you go ahead and bring Blankenship back. Because we got to remember, Jalen Carter and Nolan still got one more year. So,
And Hunt still right there with him too. He probably got two years on his deal.
yeah, because this is his second year.
I think so.
Last year was his rookie year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he ain't got to worry about him right now.
So, I mean, that's pretty much it for the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, we really don't. So my big question on offense is
Out of there. AJ Brown is out of there. You ain't got to ask. I don't know where you was going with it, but if it's coming up later, the nigga gone. Nah.
nah, that's exactly what I was about to ask. I was about to ask, do AJ gotta go?
Yeah. He out of there. If after Howie hollering at me about the defense, all right, the elephant in the room, Dom. Should we get rid of? You said who you wanted to keep on defense. Should we get rid of AJ Brown? Mama, look how he dead in his eyes. Did you miss me? Nah, but hey, I'm like, yeah, bro. He got to get up out of here. Like, cause to me, it's 2 years in a row. You done pulled the bull crap the year before. I kind of was vouching for you. Nah, he ain't. I'm saying, and then when you follow it up this year, now he made the year before that look. It make your diamonds look cloudy in the light. Like, yeah, hey, they ain't what I thought it was. These is fake diamonds. So but nah. So after he pulled what he just pulled this last season, I don't like it because one, you're a distraction to this team. You all over social media. That's all they want to talk about. Now they feeling some type. They already feel some type of way about Nick and Hurts, but you ain't doing it no more. You ain't doing it no better. And then on top of that, I feel like it's messing up what the offense could be because now we got to see if we can get. We seeing if we gotta get AJ the ball when really this person over here was open, or I feel like it's messing up the flow of the offense. AJ Brown is a phenomenal player. He's a great player, and a lot of people want to keep him just because of his talent. But it don't matter if it ain't what it need to be for the team. Like sometimes your actions and stuff like that, it just outweigh your talent at some point, which is kind of why you kept seeing T.O. bounce around. As talented as that man was, you ain't really see him, and that's kind of why, at least from the organization standpoint. We don't know really all the ins and outs what was going on in the building, but we know a little bit. Excuse me, and but yeah, I would just have to let him go because I feel like if we could get somebody out there who just gonna play their role in the offense and take advantage of their opportunities and really give a damn like AJ Brown, he get mad now. He out there throwing fits. He half-ass blocking because he ain't got the ball this game. Like, bro, they ain't you hurting the offense at this point. Like, yeah, you're a great player, but it don't matter if it don't equal up to nothing. I'd rather get somebody out there gonna really be a team player for real. And not this stuff where people want to make it seem like, oh, well, AJ talking to this person on the sideline, he's saying this, him and Coop that. That don't mean nothing. That ain't equaling offensive success. He really a team player. No, the hell he ain't. The man, and he a coward. You don't say nothing at the facility. You wait till you get online and throw all these damn shots, and you saying slick stuff to the media. Man, come on, man. If you gonna be real, be real. Then they asking him stuff about the offense. Have you said that to KP or Nick? No, but they know now because I said it on here. What kind of damn 5-year-old stuff is that? So I feel like he can go somewhere else and do that. Like he'll probably go somewhere else his first year, probably have a decent year, but as soon as he get comfortable, he probably gonna be back on the same bull drive. So yeah, I would get him up out of there, man. I feel like we can get somebody else in there, and then even kind of back to the Sean Mannion situation. Like he coming into a great situation, and not only is the Eagles, you got great talent and team and organization and stuff like that, but coming off of what we just came off of, man, hey, we do what we've been doing, then they already gonna be motivated and doing what they need to do to be a great team. All he got to do is come in there and help the engine go. But he really coming into a good situation. The Philadelphia Eagles coming off of what we would consider probably a down year. Man, Hurts trying to get back to that bowl, man.
Tell me this though, where you moving them?
It really kind of depends. Like I've been saying before, I wouldn't mind. I don't. It kind of depends. Can we trade him somewhere for an edge piece or a corner? Of course, I'm looking for a corner. But if it just has so happened, like the Browns willing to trade Myles Garrett for him, or the Raiders trying to trade Max Crosby, hey, you can't really turn it down. But I would like to go ahead and get a corner. I mean, of course, we can always address that in the draft, but I kind of want to get a veteran corner, somebody who's been around for a while. So we could trade him to Carolina for one of them guys. If I don't know how Seattle's still feeling about whichever one of them corners they was talking about during the season, and whoever one of them dudes, pay him AJ and the jig. Hey, I'm on. If I'm Howie, I'm on that being a salesman. Look, bro, your defense gonna be straight. Think about a Jigma, a Jigma and AJ. Hey, bro, if I'm Howie, I'm on there selling. I'm talking about.
Nah,
So
we know for a fact that won't work. Not with the amount of balls that JSN getting. That's gonna be smoke.
that's their problem. Howie's
AJ
job is to get on there and lie to them. Hey, that ain't They ain't got nothing to do with us. It might not work,
JSN
but
went
y'all.
for damn near 1,600
Yeah.
yards
Let
this
them
year.
figure that out. That's their job to figure that out. It's our job to get this damn trade. Hey, yeah, AJ gonna come with him and hey, we know Sam Darnold gonna get him the ball, JSN covered. You know, AJ always open. So doggone, I'm talking about I'm selling him. He get over there, whatever happened, but that ain't our problem. Y'all figure that out. But yeah, so I would try to see if they trying to give up one of their corners. I was trying to just see if I could. Of course, I've been talking about Denzel Ward. Just to see if we can trade him for a corner or maybe an edge piece or something like that. That's what I would do. I kind of named a couple teams. It's probably something I'm forgetting about or whatever. And then as far as wide receivers, I would like to bring in. I already been saying, I wouldn't mind getting Olave. I wouldn't mind getting Waddle. Waddle probably my first choice. Probably I wouldn't mind seeing Waddle, Hurts, and Smitty doing their thing.
Reunited.
Yep. Who else? Oh, I said Garrett Wilson from the Jets. I wouldn't mind getting him.
Kendrick Bourne.
Who?
Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, I was gonna come around to him after I named like the guys that I want to be
The
like the
number
number two.
ones.
Yeah. I think that might be it for them guys. But then as far as like other guys I would like to see come in, Born from San Fran.
Matt Collins.
I was about to say Mac Hollins. And I feel like it was one more person, but Mac Hollins and Bourne was like my top two guys I would like to come in and see kind of battle Cooper for that third spot. And then whoever else get the fourth spot. But I think that'll be a solid wide receiver run. If we could get Waddle, I'd be happy with that. Smitty, Waddle, and then one of them guys, one of them three guys we just named at the third spot. I feel like Hurts to get off, and then Waddle ain't gonna be man. We ain't seen Waddle over there talking crazy in Miami playing with Tua. He been over there just playing his role, and then you come into a situation where you on a great team, and you happy to get off the team. He ain't gonna be talking crazy. He gonna come over here. Hurts gonna feed him, and then he gonna be the new person on the team. So they gonna build a chemistry just off him and Hurts working together. Man, Smitty gonna be JSN in 2000s. The 2026 season, he gonna have his JSN season. But yeah, that's how I kind of would go with that as far as like the AJ and then guys I was looking at a wide receiver, and then I kind of talked about who I would trade AJ for, or what I would look to try to, of course, how it can work out the particulars as far as like picks but I ain't worried about that. That's how it job. But I would, like I said, I would try to trade him for a corner or maybe an edge piece or something like that. Those would be my first two choices, and then if that don't work, of course, try to trade him for something else or whatever, some picks or something like that, or a wide receiver, I guess. But yeah, that's what I would do.
I guess the possibility of a Waddle coming here, that would be dope. We can get a Waddle to Philly.
And Waddle get that yak, man.
Yeah. Because that's probably the biggest thing that we would be missing, giving up AJ, because AJ get yak too. It's just we already know what that ended up being in Philly. But like you said, we'll let Howie figure that out, because he do got to figure out the money piece of that, because I think he come with like a $40 million cap hit if he on somebody else roster next year.
Shit, but hey, we started GoFundMe. We can pitch in on that. Get his ass out of here.
I think the best part about that is that offense is for the most part taken care of. So we talked a little bit about the possibility of a Mekhi Becton coming back into the fold if he indeed will be available. Because I didn't really look into it too much, but it was just some reports that he could have been cut. But we got to talk about that Mekhi Becton coming back there.
Oh.
Giving giving that right guard position another look over. Because Steen could use a push in the offseason along with the rest of the offensive line. Nobody really outside of maybe Lane Johnson and Myalata. I mean, shoot, ain't nobody job safe after the season that we seen. And I expected to get better with better play calling as well. Obviously, we didn't say it till we was blue in the face. Injuries played a big part in what they look like, but the other half of that was play calling. If the defense know where you going on first down and second down, we already know what you're gonna do on third down. So it's already incredibly hard to play in the NFL. It's even harder when the team already know what you're gonna do. So let's see. As we hope to become less predictable in 2026, hopefully we can return back to our glory because we don't have no evidence to suggest that Stout is gonna fall off a cliff. So he's giving us more good seasons than he's giving us bad seasons. So let's just call this a hiccup on the offensive side of the ball and move the hell on. But we gotta talk about that bad man, Hurts. My boy didn't got named to the Pro Bowl. Old QB1. Now when we look at this season, it'll be easy to blame him for the woes of the offense. It's easy to the low hanging fruit when it comes to just not getting it done this year, but it really wasn't Hurts' fault. Um, just like any other quarterback, did he miss throws this season? Of course he did. Just like any other quarterback. Did he throw picks this season? Yeah, he threw 6 of them. But he also threw the most touchdowns in his career at 25. Finished with 3,200 passing yards in the offense that was dog shit all year long, with one receiver that was pouting and an offensive coordinator who couldn't coach his way out of wet paper bag. So for him to turn this season into a Pro Bowl year, I'd say that's pretty damn impressive. If you had to tell me how you feel about Hurts and what he did this season.
I mean, he got a little bit of he got. I mean, just because he the quarterback and he involved every play and game plan and all that, and he actually out there in the field. Of course, he got a little bit of blame, but um, outside of that, I don't really feel too bad from what we seen from her. I mean, he made the best he could of a shaky situation. You done ran down his stats and stuff like that. Outside of that one game, he wasn't even really throwing no interceptions. He had that one game where he got
He threw
damn through.
4 in one game.
I was just about to say he down there threw all of them in one game, and we just seen your favorite quarterbacks probably did that multiple times. They didn't threw 2-3 interceptions in multiple games. Um, but uh, But yeah, I don't really got a whole lot to say about Hurts. Like I said, he made the best he could of a shaky situation, and like DP said, you know, he had his moments where it wasn't all good, but hell, it wasn't no quarterback season all good. So outside of the normal quarterback woes, I ain't really got nothing negative to say about Hurts. The man just coming off being a Super Bowl MVP. You got a wide receiver out there that's half-assing in the pass and the run game. So really, you down to your first and your third receiver. He ain't really gonna throw to the third receiver. So you out there with one wide receiver and a tight end. No, let me stop. Um, but yeah, I ain't got too much to say about Hurts. I'm really ready to see what he do this following season coming up because you know the trend has been, you know, we kind of we don't, if we miss the Super Bowl we go back to the Super Bowl. So and Hurts usually looking good. So We'll see. We'll see how he look on this coming season. I know he's motivated. I'm ready to see what he do with these new coaches we get in the building. Um, Mannion and Chicken Gizzard. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to turn the page on this season. Obviously, we can't fully do that until we see this last game on Sunday. Let's talk about that a little bit. We got the New England Patriots going up against the Seattle Seahawks. Who you got?
man, this is a tough one, man. Like I said, I don't really got a dog in the fight. Usually I got somebody, oh, I hope this team win or I hope this team lose. But I mean, as far as that goes, I ain't really got nothing crazy. I don't really got no kind of dislike for neither one of these teams. Not their quarterbacks, not their coaches. Let me see who Seattle head coach.
McConnell.
Yeah, I ain't really tripping.
McDonald, I mean.
I ain't really tripping on him. I really like
Vrabel.
Vrabel always have his guys prepared. And which is really why I kind of been rolling with the Patriots every game. I'm like, I believe in Vrabel. But it's gonna be interesting to see how Vrabel had these guys prepared to play Seattle. How they deal with the Seattle defense, how Sam Darnold kind of do with this big stage. I mean, he been doing well so far. One more game, bro. Just go out here and ball your ass off. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the matchup in my head. Who looked like they probably would win just based on the matchup versus who I would like to win. I don't really know. It's kind of 50-50. I can see a bunch of negatives and positives on both sides. I guess I would kind of have to say I'm sure who I think would win, but who I want to win probably Seattle. Like I said, it really don't matter to me. But if I would say if it's who I want to win, I probably would say Seattle just because I just like what they got going on this year. I like what JSN been doing. I'm a defensive guy, so I like Seattle defense. So I would just go with Seattle just off the strength of that. But as far as who matchup wise, who I think will win, I ain't really sure. Like I said, 50-50. But I'll probably be pulling just a tad bit for Seattle. But I ain't mad if New England win. I ain't got no dog in the fight.
Who you trust more right now out of Drake May and Sam Darnold?
Well, I would have to say Sam Darnold just off the strength of Drake May ain't really been around that long for me to build no contract. I ain't got no trust in Sam like that either, but I mean he been around longer. Drake May kind of the new kid on the block, and it would just be me going off of short term success. Nah, because that's what people kind of do. They kind of just they see you do good your first couple of years, and and they want to believe in you. Nah, say he better than Sam Darnold. We don't know who the hell he better than, bro. Just not in his second year in the league, and he done made it to the Super Bowl, but um, he could get him away the best. So I can't really say I trust him more than Sam Darnold, and I don't even trust Sam Darnold worth a damn. But I would have to go with Sam Darnold as being the vet.
He is the vet in that matchup. Obviously, when we look at the wide receiver core for the Patriots, it's not any huge names out there. We already said we know Diggs, we know Booty gonna be open. We
Wide
know
open.
we know Mac Hollins, he gonna have something to say. They got Pop Douglas out there. And damn, it's another wide receiver, Kyle Williams. So they got a young receiving core. They got a couple vets out there. But for the most part, as a unit, they got a young receiving core. And I would have given the edge to Seattle's corners, but then I saw what the hell they look like in the NFC Championship. Straight booty juice. It seemed like they was playing good up until a point, And then it seemed like they made one bonehead move, and it was like all downhill for the whole cornerback room. I don't know what happened. Um, and that might be a testament to how young they still are. They haven't been in this position. At that point, that was the biggest game of their career. Obviously, now this game is the biggest game of their career. So when you got Reek Woolen, you got Nick Emanuri, which I wouldn't have mind having in Philly. Um, they got him safety and nickel. Um, who's the other dude? Witherspoon as the other corner. And I don't remember who the other safety hitting on, but I mean that unit as a whole been pretty solid all year long. Obviously we heard some rumblings about them. I don't remember which cornerback they was talking about getting rid of or trading at the deadline, but they kind of remind me build wise of the old Legion of Boom. Maybe not. Maybe we can't really compare them just yet because the Legion of Boom got a ring. But hey, they right on the doorstep of getting a ring. We haven't necessarily seen the consistent dominance out of them that we saw out of Sherm and them boys back in the day, but it's still early. Who's to say that they can't be better as a unit? When we talk about we are so the running back room for the Pats, they got Ramondre Stevenson and the rookie Henderson going up against a hell of a front seven in Seattle. So that's kind of like a stalemate to me. We already said that we would get a slight edge to Vrabel as the head coach going head to head against
Yeah, for sure.
McDaniel. Um, Defensively, I don't really see a whole lot. Obviously they just play well as a unit. The Pats do. Um, when you think about big
Yeah, they
names over
solid.
there, yeah. When you think about big names, they got names like Gonzalez over there, um,
Mute dog.
Big Milk Dog over there. They got some solid pieces at linebacker. They just play well as a unit. They don't. You
Yeah.
really can't single nobody out, which that's really the most dangerous type of team is teams that
Mm-hmm.
play team ball. So
Right. Yeah.
and they got a coach that's won as a player. They got a player's coach. Vrabel just know how to get the most out of his guys. So if
Mm-hmm.
it's any unit that you can have confidence in, is Mike Vrabel's defense.
Yeah.
Um, their offense ain't really been hitting on much of anything the whole postseason, but they still find themselves in the Super Bowl. So maybe they figure it out. Maybe they can find some of the holes in the defense that the Rams was able to exploit. I don't know. We had to see. Um,
Man, we could be
yeah,
playing the
cause
Patriots, right?
cause cause either way you think about it, either Drake May gonna have a ring or Sam Darnold gonna have a ring.
We could be playing the
Uh,
Patriots right now. Is what I'm
we
thinking
could be.
about.
We could be if we'd have picked the right guy at offensive coordinator. We would have been because I mean we definitely had the defense, and there's no way that we already seen what this offense looked like with a competent offensive coordinator in
Yeah.
24. So that was the biggest
But
difference in the
yeah,
offense.
like you said, one of them boys about to come up out of there with a ring. Either the young guy or the old guy.
And to be honest, I think it'll do more for Sam Darnold's confidence. That'll be one a hell of a story for him actually.
Yeah, yeah.
For him to
Especially with
come
the
out.
last 2 seasons he just had.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a story for him. But when we think about Dre May, they got the potential. They better win it. They better win it while they here, because you just never know what the next year gonna look like.
Yeah,
So
especially being a young quarterback too.
year two,
I think the best thing I think that I think the best thing they kind of got going for them outside of having Drake May is Vrabel. And I think the bad thing about that they probably got going for them the next season is just like injuries. Like you never know. Like you was a couple injuries away from just having a bad season or not even getting close back to where he was. As we kind of seen with Washington. So like you said, they kind of got to win, and that's really for both teams, but especially for like the Patriots. And then you got a young quarterback too, and he might be in his head next year, trying to force like, damn, I gotta trying to live back up to the success of getting to the Super Bowl. So
He also can fall under the same kind of. I see him being another Burrow if they don't win. Well, he gonna be able to live off of this success
hmm
for a few
and then he
seasons.
got and then everybody love Vrabel too, so that's another reason why
Mm-hmm.
they gonna hype him up. So he'll be able to live off of that for a while, but that's just in the media. You don't really know what's going on in the player his actual
Right.
head about how he feel about the situation. Like I said, I think it could be in a situation where it's like, all right, you trying to live up to the success, even in yourself and in your own head about how you being perceived by the fans and the pressure. Just thinking about, dang, I just went to a Super Bowl, especially if you lost. It's like, damn, we got to get back, and then now you out here pressing every game. Don't mess around and lose a game or two. Now you really down on yourself or whatever. You out there forcing throws and stuff like that. That's kind of like I was been saying a couple times why I really another reasons why I knew Washington probably wouldn't be good this year. I was like, man, Jane, he ain't gonna be able to like he gonna be trying to live back up to the hype of that rookie season. He going down, and then he really didn't even get a chance because of the team injury and his injury. But even when he was out there, he wasn't looking spectacular. So. Um, I think with a young quarterback, you kind of got to go ahead and get in there while they're getting good.
I think, oddly enough, I think they would have been in a better place if they would have went 6-10 his first year, as opposed to making it all the way to an NFC championship.
For sure.
Because that put them in the position, even in his first year, they went out and made a trade for Lattimore, which ended up not panning out. And they added a bunch of old guys to the team, like they was a few vets away from a Super
They
Bowl.
ain't
So they
even really had to go 6-10. If they would have just lost, probably maybe lost that first playoff game or something like
or not
that,
even made the playoffs.
yeah, like barely made the playoffs, or maybe even just lost that first game, I think they would have been straight. But to make it all the way to the NFC Championship, and now you kind of feeling like, damn, we probably was like a piece or two away, and this
Mm-hmm.
and that away, and now you going there with this false hope, and all of them come crumbling down. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what they do next year.
I do like what I'm seeing out of the Giants so far though. They building, so obviously we know they hired Harbaugh as the head coach, but they just added Matt Nagy as the offensive coordinator.
No,
Yeah, still don't know what they're gonna do as defensive coordinator, but from a coaching staff standpoint, they definitely
they on their
putting some
grind.
pieces. Yeah, they putting some pieces together. So
All right, how fuck, hey,
so
they
yeah,
gonna
they
make something.
could have something to say next year. I mean, Dart did have a few flashes. We already know that defense. I mean, they was a good defense. They just really couldn't really do much last year because they was the Giants. Bad offense, whatever. But it seemed like it's some new leadership in New York. Now, who they pick as their defensive coordinator gonna say a lot. Um, they look like they got some of the pieces. Obviously, they need to probably attack the cornerback room. Um, they can have Ringo and Adoree Jackson if they want them. Um, we're leaving sweeten the pot with a what's my boy name
Oh, from the Raiders.
from the Eagles. I mean, they can have Bennett too, but I was talking
Ooh,
about I was talking about old boy that's buried on that depth chart. I can't think of his name right now. Eli Ricks. They can have him too. Um, but we kind of talked about it a little bit off the camera. I wouldn't mind reuniting with old Razul Douglas. We never really
yeah, I'll
wanted to
take them.
see him
Yeah,
leave the
bring him back.
building.
Yeah, I heard with him. Bring him back.
Razul, Mitch, Coop. That's a nice little
Yeah, that's solid.
trio right there.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
Make it happen, Howie.
I'd
Because I
say for
mean,
sure. And then go get you some solid backups.
yeah, we're gonna have to rebuild the whole cornerback room. Cause last year wasn't it.
Nah, we probably. I don't know. We got. See, that's the only thing. This a season right here, cause off season right here, cause it's a lot of stuff kind of up in the air. Cause
Mm-hmm.
we need to get some we need to hit the trenches. We got to hit the corner spot. We need tight end, wide receiver.
Hey, Howard just need to get on his job again.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
didn't be. This ain't his first time having restock the cupboard.
right.
So I mean, if it's two positions on the team that I don't really worry about is Howie and is Vic. So I mean,
Yeah, we'll be
you
straight.
can we get out the bus with a defense. So I think we'll be straight from that regard. But before we veer two left, who you got winning the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna go Seattle. And like I said, that's just who I want to win. Who I think gonna win. Like I said, I just think it's 50-50. But I'm kind of leaning towards wanting Seattle to win, but it really don't matter to me. I ain't mad if New England win, but I'm gonna be probably pulling for Seattle a little bit.
Damn, that's a hard one. Coin flip.
Cause like I said, I can make a case why both teams will win. And it ain't like no clear cut. Oh yeah, they got this. They probably ain't gonna be able to mess with this, whatever. So I think both teams kind of solid. It's just gonna come down to execution and game plan. It's gonna come down to execution and game plan. I feel like they kind of evenly matched. Um, so it's gonna come down to execution and game plan. The stage gonna be too big for somebody? Is one team who maybe one of the quarterbacks shaky? Is your defense gonna be able to hold it in the road until you get unshaky? Like what's gonna happen? So it's hard for me to say who I think gonna win. Like just looking at the matchup. But like I said, I'll probably be pulling for Seattle just a tiny bit, just because I like what they got going on. I like their defense. Like JSN, I like the season. Everybody, I like the season. Darnold had hell of a story. Um, but I like the Patriots too. I like Vrabel. I like what they got, what they building over there. But I'm gonna just roll with Seattle. They're Super Bowl sure anyway.
Super Bowl 60. I don't know. It's so hard for me to call it. It's literally a 50-50 game.
Telling you,
I could see it. I can't remember seeing a in my
50-50.
recent memory that's literally 50-50 to me. Like I could make a case for either team because if we talk about who the most complete team, I would say it's Seattle. But the biggest wild card is also with Seattle and Sam Darnold because we can see him get off because he did have a good game in the NFC Championship. But we've also seen him piss down his leg. When we talk about the Pats, they are well rounded and they got a hell of a head coach. Um, but their offensive line is shaky and they got a second year quarterback who hasn't played well in the postseason so far. So none of that really matters, but I I guess I might have to go Seattle too if you pull my arm and made me choose somebody. I had to just roll with, like you said, the vet quarterback in Darnold. Only because Drake made it's only year 2 for him. I do like what McDonald is doing with the offense. I love how he incorporating JSN in the offense. I hate that they lost Charbonnet because that was a hell of a
Yeah,
1-2 punch with
yeah.
him and Kenny
Walker.
Walker.
Yeah.
But with that being said,
Walker, Texas
they
Ranger,
still
baby.
yeah, they still got enough with Walker. So yeah, I guess if you twisted my arm, I'm taking the Hawks.
This should be a good game.
And they need to get revenge for that Marshawn game.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said they're Super Bowl short. They're Super Bowl short.
But yeah, that's all we have for this
And
week.
the Patriots
Just
got like 2 Super Bowls they don't even supposed to have. So I ain't they don't supposed to have that Falcon Super Bowl or that doggone Seattle joint. So
maybe even 3 if you throw in the Philly Super
that
Bowl.
Philly, yeah, that Philly. I was thinking about that too, but
But we at least
yeah,
got our get back.
you're right.
So shoot, we take that with a grain of salt. Cause if I had to choose between that one and 2017, I'm sticking with the 2017 Super Bowl just because of how hell of a
Yeah,
that was a hell of a season too, though. The TO
it was.
season was a hell of a season.
Yeah, it was.
But when we talk about like capping it
And
off
how
with
he came back at the end. My man out there on one leg,
one
skating on him.
leg
They couldn't
getting
even
off.
stop him. They couldn't even stop the man on one leg. I was like, what the hell going on?
Man, he led one, bro. I don't care what nobody says. I was
Real.
fooling y'all. But nah. That's all. That's
Even that
all.
little run to the Super Bowl without T.O. was
That was
dope.
that was a hell of a yeah. I mean, shoot. That's back when our defense was on point. That's back when the screen game was there. I mean, Andy, come on now. Andy Reid, just a technician.
Man, even thinking back to it back then, it was so many times the Eagles was right there at the doorstep. Just
Couldn't
got
get over
beat.
the hump.
I think Carolina got us 1 year. Tampa Bay
Tampa
got
Bay,
us 1 year. I think
Packers got us
I
one
think
year.
Green Bay, yep, they got
They
us
might
one
have
time.
got us a couple years actually.
But yeah, so
And now we on the other side of that, sending teams to the crib.
yeah, so
Now we used to not be able to get over the hump. Now we became the hump. Do it, baby. But anyway,
but yeah, should be a good game though.
yeah, and that'll be live on Primetime Sports. Hopefully that one on Tubi again. It was on. I feel like it was it on Tubi last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was on Tubi last year for the first time. So
It seemed like it was on a lot of stuff.
it probably was, but I Tubi stuck out because it was free. Um, they might run that back. I don't know. We'll see.
I know I just watched it on, you know how you go on the Fire Stick and it be right there on the screen. I clicked on whatever that was.
that probably was Amazon there.
Oh,
Cause
okay.
Amazon gonna have their stuff up there first. They platform. But yeah. Shoot, that's all we have for this week. Obviously, you're gonna see us in the Super Bowl 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We gonna have the New England Patriots going up against the Seattle Seahawks for the last game of the season, baby. Damn. Football season over.
Over with.
Damn. The good part about it is we're gonna get to see some moves, see what we do in free agency, see what we do in the draft. It's gonna be interesting to see how we approach all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the new additions at offensive coordinator and pass game coordinator. So, and we got to figure out if we're gonna get rid of AJ, and if we do get rid of AJ, for what? It's a lot of question marks this off season. So we're gonna bring the latest news to you next week. But before we get to that, of course, we're gonna cover the Super Bowl. So make sure y'all tune in for that Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. But other than that, go Birds.
Go Bird.
Make sure y'all hit that like button, comment, subscribe.